If you want the best and fastest weight loss and fat loss results possible, you really need to focus on two things with your nutrition. One is creating that small calorie deficit, and number two is increasing your protein. Often creating that deficit is the easier part of the equation for most of us. We simply cut something out or we shrink one of our portions a bit. Increasing protein, on the other hand, can feel oddly overwhelming, especially when it requires us to adjust other things as well to create that calorie deficit. But increasing protein is more key than we realize. Studies have shown that when it comes to fat loss, this macro really is essential, leading to not only faster results, but more muscle mass retention and fewer metabolic adaptations, which also ultimately makes it easier to not only lose the fat, but keep it off. How many carbs and how much fat you consume can even vary and fluctuate and still work for weight loss if protein is kept higher. Although you may find that you have macro ratios that work better for you based on a variety of factors from activity level to genetics and age. But studies have even shown that the macro ratios used for weight loss with higher protein, regardless of where carbs and fat fall, always lead to better fat loss and body recomposition results. And while we may want to strategically adjust carbs and fat to match our activity level and lifestyle, if tracking macros and tweaking them all at once is overwhelming, the key is to just start with a protein target. So if you're struggling with adjusting your diet and increasing your protein, think about increasing it by just 10 grams per day. Here are 5 tips to help you increase your protein without feeling like you're having to fully overhaul your diet, because small changes add up. Tip number 1 is to tweak your current diet. Often we think dramatic changes over small adjustments. We feel like we have to create completely different meals, or we just turn to only supplements. Or we even focus on trying to find ways to force protein into meals that don't generally include it, like making super protein-packed snacks or desserts. But instead of trying to make big changes, think about how you can adjust what you're currently doing with as small a change as possible. If you're eating 3 ounces of protein in a meal, try just increasing that portion to 4 ounces. That little adjustment can really add up. And it doesn't even have to be adding an ounce more ground beef to your burrito bowl or chicken to your salad. It could be another ounce of any type of protein as well that you add on. Tip number 2 is to find quick go-to options out. Often if we're constantly on the go, it can feel hard to get in protein quickly. It's why planning ahead to start can be key and can be helpful to look at the options you have out at restaurants or easy to grab and go from a grocery store. These quick protein-centric meals and snacks can help us stay consistent, and they can even bump our daily protein intake so it doesn't feel like we're trying to play catch-up at dinner. Take a look around your grocery store and log in a few options to see how they can impact your day. Things like jerky, hard-boiled eggs, shrimp cocktail, Greek yogurt are all great go-to options. You can even often find pre-cooked, very simple chicken that can be reheated or eaten cold, whether you chow down on it cold or add it to a wrap or salad that you pick up. There are even great options at many fast food restaurants. While maybe not our ideal because of the food quality, they can help us maintain a balance overall and stay on track. Places like Chick-fil-A with their grilled chicken nuggets are a great option. And even restaurants like Chipotle allow you to adjust the portion size to match your needs and goals. Take some time though, as annoying as it may be, to research a few dining out options close to you. It can help you during those times you're in a pinch or even don't feel like cooking. Tip number 3 is to think in swaps and don't forget about those complementary proteins. So not only do we often just need to swap the cut of meat to adjust for the amount of protein versus fat that we're consuming, but we can even make little swaps to the veggies and other carbs we're including that can really boost our protein intake over the course of a day. Often we don't know how to cut down on the fat in our diet while bumping protein when it can be as simple as eating a chicken breast over a chicken thigh. And if we want to include red meat, maybe we just change the cut of steak or even go with 90% lean ground beef over 85. Or maybe you don't even like leaner ground beef or chicken breast. Maybe instead you keep that same cut of meat and swap half the portion for shrimp or whitefish with less fat. Maybe doing that surf and turf combo is all you need to bump the protein while lowering the fat you're consuming. Or maybe in your morning omelet, you cut back on full eggs and instead include some egg whites. Or choose to include low-fat or fat-free Greek yogurt over full-fat yogurt. Small changes like that can pay off. So can potentially adjusting the types of carbs or veggies we include to get more amino acids over the day, including more spinach in our salads, or mushrooms in our casseroles, or broccoli in our stir fries. Maybe you focus your carb sources more on quinoa over rice, or buckwheat pasta over regular pasta. Maybe we even swap in plant-based sources of protein like tofu or tempeh seitan instead of including more meat. Or add an edamame to a seafood poke bowl. We can even include nutritional yeast in a smoothie, sprinkled on a salad, or add it into a sauce to add a cheesy flavor. Small little swaps add up and can even help us find meals we enjoy more, making us feel full and fueled as we work towards our weight loss goals. Tip number 4, don't fear supplements. While supplements are supplemental and we want to focus our diet on whole natural foods, we also have to recognize that we make changes when the pain of staying stuck outweighs the pain of change. So even if we want to lose weight and fat, if it feels too overwhelming to get started adjusting our diet, there is a good chance we'll never make the changes we need. Starting out, to make things easier, you may find you do add in whey or another protein supplement as a snack to quickly and easily bump your protein 20 to 30 grams per day. You can include protein powders in baked goods, oatmeals, smoothies, or a simple shake. It can even be good as something to keep in your purse, desk, or backpack to mix in quickly with milk or water when you're on the go. You can even stir it into a quick microwaved oatmeal to add a protein boost and even some extra flavor. Tip number 5, mix and match. Often we get stuck thinking more of the single protein source we already have in a meal, instead of mixing and matching protein sources to increase our protein without it feeling like we're just eating pounds of the same thing. For fried rice with chicken, try adding in egg whites for a little extra texture and a protein boost. For a little extra protein in a pasta or enchilada bake, think some cottage cheese or Greek yogurt with your ground beef. Even swap the type of pasta you're using. There are some great edamame, chickpea, or even buckwheat options that can give you a boost. For a stir fry, think shrimp and chicken, or add an edamame. Diversify those protein sources in your dishes to make things tasty while helping you achieve results. Don't be afraid to mix and match protein sources and even try and include more than one in a meal. It can be a great way to reduce your fat or carbs while increasing your protein to create the calorie intake you need. Small changes really do add up, so consider how you can use these 5 tips to really vary your protein intake and increase it over the days and weeks. You can then choose even just one small swap to start with. Planning ahead and even experimenting with how these things can make an impact can help when you're pressed for time and on the go. So list out some ways you can use these 5 tips in your daily life to see results. If you liked the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.